Hey, welcome to our mail day pickups from, well, pretty much just the month of October. So we're starting off with something I got from Cavity Colors, which is over here, because I've been wearing it around for a while. So Cavity Colors is a horror apparel website, for people who don't know, that sells pretty high quality horror apparel. And they have this thing called the buy or die line, where a design is only available for 72 hours before it disappears. And they had a Jason X buy or die artwork recently, so I bought the hoodie, which I am doing a bad job of unfurling the back. Yeah, you can see it, right? So anyway, this was the art that they went with for their Jason X celebration shirts, hoodies, and I think a couple of other different things. So this was not a cheap hoodie, by the way. I think it was like 50, 60 some dollars. However, it's definitely one of the nicer hoodies I've ever owned. So it's very thick. Like, you get a lot of, I keep wanting to say oomph, but I don't know if that's accurate. But, it's quite warm, which I've bought other hoodies kind of like this from other websites, and those have been kind of thin, like the wind will like really blast into them, and that's not that much of an issue with this one. So what's cool is it also has this it's got Uber Jason like on the front here, and it's almost kind of like a high school letter, kind of like where it is. So I really enjoy that little extra touch. But as a hoodie, it's a pretty nice hoodie, and I think it was definitely worth it. So if you know about Cavity Colors and you've been thinking of trying out one of their fancy hoodies, recommend it. So I wear a large, and I went with a size higher, so this is actually an extra large, and I think that actually makes it wear better. So, because it's got like a little bit of give, like it's not tight. The pockets are actually pretty deep and kind of nice. Only real issue I had with it is when I first got it, actually still now, see, kind of a lot of lint that comes in like the pockets and little crevices. Like, it was leaving like little black fuzzies all over stuff that I was wearing for a while. But otherwise, it's pretty great, and I love it. So thanks, Cavity Colors. So, also, they send you like a little sticker. So love it. And then moving on to more mail order goodness. So I recently got to go see this documentary. So this is the limited vinyl for the soundtrack of Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, about Mark Patton and just kind of everything he went through, being Jesse in Nightmare 2, and most importantly, what was it like to be, gay in 1980s Hollywood? How did that hurt his career? It was an amazing documentary. Like, it really was. I'm working on getting a screener so I can do more of a in-depth review of it. Like, it was really good. Like, if you can see it, go see it. But anyway, so this was a special order from what are these guys called? 1984 Publishing, who did the Blood and Black Wax book, actually. And so Mark Patton and the directors of Scream Queen were here in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee Film Festival, where I saw Scream Queen, and they were cool enough to... Mark signed the outer jacket, and one of the nice things about this is that it comes with a little print inside, too. And it's a really nice print, too. And the directors and Mark Patton were also kind enough to sign it for me, so this is going up on the shelf somewhere. I just don't know where yet. And I've listened to this album, and it's really nice. It's like a synthwave, like retro 80s kind of thing, which is a genre that I enjoy. And it's also a really pretty vinyl release, too. I think you can still get this for $20-ish on 1984's website. My only gripe is that it didn't come with like a download, because the music is good enough that I want to listen to it like on the go. But other than that, it's definitely something I'm going to be cracking out to listen to with some frequency. And of course, the movie itself is just so good. I hope I do successfully get a screener and can tell you guys all about it. Let's try to find a safe spot for this. And continuing with our theme of mail order vinyl. So Waxwork Records had a sale, I want to say last month, like at some point. Last Friday the 13th, they had a special thing where you could pre-order their next two Friday the 13th releases, and they also had like a big sale going on for a lot of stuff. So I ordered the Waxwork Inferno soundtrack because it was like $22. It was kind of aggravating actually, because like a few weeks before that sale, I had bought Deep Red. Like I used a very hard to acquire half-off coupon on it, and then like I don't think more than like 4 or 5 days later, on Waxwork's site, it was pretty much the price I paid with the coupon, and I could use the coupon on something else, and it was crushing. But yeah, at any rate, it comes with, in one of those really nice outer slips that Waxwork won't tell me where I can get more, because I want to put my whole collection in them. So the inside is fairly simplistic, but still has some really cool art. So I actually haven't seen Inferno, but knowing how I've responded to pretty much every Argento movie I've ever seen, like I figured there was no way I wouldn't want this soundtrack after I had seen Inferno, so I just kind of jumped on it while it was cheap. So the art is really nice, and the albums themselves are pretty crazy looking too. Ooh, look at that. So in terms of a score, it feels... It's not like as punchy as like the Suspiria or Deep Red soundtracks. Like it doesn't have... Probably just because I haven't seen the movie yet, like there aren't pieces of music that really stick out in my brain. Whereas with those other two, Suspiria and Deep Red, like I associate that music with images, so maybe nothing from Inferno jumps out at me because I haven't seen it, or maybe it's not as good a score, or maybe it's not as well scored as the other two. Either way, I thought this was a cool soundtrack, so I was happy with it. So, and the variants that they did are pretty fancy, kind of in between like what they did for Deep Red and Phenomena. At least in terms of how they colored the vinyl. So that little trilogy of vinyl is completed now. Whew, a little tired here. So, another funny thing is Waxwork always sends like a little sticker or something, and so this was what they sent for October/Halloween. So pretty cool. Like, I keep wanting to make sure I put these somewhere that I'll be happy with them forever. But it's one of those things where like the sticker is too nice to actually use because you're afraid you're gonna want to like put it on something else. So anyway, so now moving to some of our other mail order stuff. So I'd been wanting this for quite a while, and there was a Kino Lorber sale. When did I order this? I think this was I think it was only like a week or so ago. So Kino Lorber was having a sale on their website, and one of their titles I'd wanted for a long time was Trilogy of Terror. And Trilogy of Terror, thankfully, came to the slipcover. So Trilogy of Terror is this pretty awesome anthology that I really hope you've heard of. If not, go see it. It's only like 70-some minutes because it was made for TV. Like, it's really short. And it's basically a Karen Black one-woman show. Like, it's really cool. And this was good release of it too. So it comes with an essay and like a little booklet, which was a very fast read. Like as long, even though might look kind of long, like the font is really big. So, and it did come with some good extras. So there are 2 commentaries. So I'm actually on the second commentary right now, off camera here. So the first commentary is by film historian Richard Harlan Smith, who basically just kind of gives information about like the production and the actors and actresses. Not really a whole lot of life in that one, but at least this time there were some interesting facts. I think that guy did Kino's Beware the Blob soundtrack, and it sounded like he was just reading the IMDb page for the actors the whole time. So, interview with the composer, that has some fun stuff with it. So for the Kieran Black and William F. Nolan commentary, is pretty fun. I think I'm about a quarter of the way into it. 3 Colors Black featurette, that was pretty much just like a 15-some-minute interview with Kieran Black. Just sort of talking about her experience. And, overall, really good. So there's also an interview with Richard Madsen. I don't remember how long that was, but it was fun hearing him talk about, it's like, oh yeah, I was involved in this, and this, Twilight Zone. It's like, wow, cool. So, good release, and I think it was only like $10, so yeah. And then the second thing I got from the Kino Lorber sale was Grizzly, which I guess is by Scorpion releasing, so little surprise there. But this is a really cool monster movie that I enjoy. It has reversible inner art with one of the alternate posters, which I personally enjoy the normal poster for it, so I'll probably just keep it like that. And this had, I think, slightly more stuff on it than I expected. So, featurettes, and then it has what looks like one of those trivia track extras, which typically I hate, but it should be fine. So, and it was cheap too, so. I don't know if I did this one or not, so Freddy's Nightmares is this anthology series from the late 80s with pretty much like Freddy just MCs a bunch of stories, kind of Tales from the Crypt style. How do I put this kindly? From what I can tell, it's not good. But I've wanted to see it for a long time, and there is no official release of this, so this is a fan-made project. So, Freddy's Nightmares was shot on film, so pretty much all copies of it that exist look really terrible. Like, they all look like they were recorded, like, on a VHS, like, right from the TV. And I think this has roughly the best-looking version of the files that are out there. Because I know it was on Chiller, and people would just, like, record it off Chiller. So, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Give us an official release. God damn it, so we won't have to, use bootlegs, which I am very strongly against, except in cases where, there's no other way to actually see the thing. Even if you, try to, watch it online, all the copies are just garbage. And then we have Arrow's American Werewolf in London fancy box. So I think this is the third time I've bought this movie. So the first time was the Beware the Moon edition Blu-ray, and then after that, it got a really nice looking steelbook last year. And so I thought, oh, maybe the steelbook has some new stuff, so I got that. Turns out it doesn't, by the way. And then Arrow announced, it's like, okay, we're doing a full-on big box release for it, and it's like, okay, this is the last time I am buying an American Werewolf in London. So we picked it up we got it from Amazon because I think it was only 30 some on Amazon, whereas I was seeing it around town for $45, so no thanks. But anyway, so this release is pretty stacked. So it comes with, you know, that reversible artwork that a lot of the better companies are apt to do. So I think I already flipped mine around in here to have one of the original posters on the front. So I try really hard not to tear that up. It's sort of hard to see in this mask. So some of the inserts you get like these little lobby cards with, you know, stills from the movie. You get the standard Arrow advertisement, or whatever that is. This was cool. You get, so some of the better Arrow releases, like the ones that come in boxes, have started doing posters. Like we just saw with Alice Sweet Alice, like that came with a poster. I think they're sort of trying to take a page from Shout Factory's book with the posters, because some of the new Arrow art is pretty nice. I mean, I just don't have space for it. So, but yeah, this is their new cover art, which is pretty dope. And, some people, this is the original poster on the back, so it's reversible. So some people are kind of like having issues with John Landis, which apparently from trying to figure out delicate ways to put this, because I don't really know all that much about what actually happened. Supposedly some people died in the 80s on one of his sets because he like ignored some safety rule. So some people, when I was showing off this edition, it's like, oh, don't give John Landis money. It's like, well, I mean, the movie's been out. It's not a new project. The movie's been out for, oh my god, what, 30-some years? So it's not going to really hurt him to, you know, boycott one release of this. So I kind of try to like avoid certain controversies though, because I just don't know as much, and I'd rather not like alienate or piss anybody off. So because for me the fun in this is, you know, sharing stuff we enjoy. But anyway, so the last thing it comes with is the standard Arrow really thick little book. So let's see if we can attempt to, yeah, see, there's quite a lot of text in there, a few different articles, a lot of stills. So pretty much by the time I'm through this, I'll probably be sick of American Werewolf in London. So, which I think is what I said about Silent Hill, because, ooh boy, that release had so many extras. So I kind of wonder if I can get to them both in time. I wonder if I could compare this Arrow release of American Werewolf to the Shout Factory release of The Blob, which came a little while ago. So, this guy, Justin Beam, has been in charge of the extras on the last few Shout Factory titles, and he's really been kicking butt and like putting a lot of like work and content into them. So, Shout Factory's Blob here, like this was one of my pre-orders. I used to do unboxing videos for these, but I didn't have time to shoot. So I've kind of already unboxed everything. So this is the pre-order poster that you can get, well, that you could get if you pre-ordered the Blob directly from the Shout Factory website. It's of the new art, and it's pretty dope. I'm just not sure. Whew. Not looking forward to figuring out where to jam it up there. But anyway, going back to the Blob, so I'm planning to do a dedicated title review on this. But, you know, long story short, you know, it's the cover of the new art. You know, reversible with new art and original poster inside. And as for special features, like this came mostly in the form of like various featurettes. Like this has 3 different commentaries, I think one from the Twilight Time release. So it is nuts, like, you know, keep doing what you're doing, Justin Beam. So, if you have never seen the Blob, like the 1988 Blob before, pick up the Shout Factory version while you can, because Twilight Time released it a few years ago, and it quickly sold out and became just so valuable for so long. And I don't think Shout Factory is gonna really sell out or retire the title anytime soon, since it's only officially, I think, a week or so old at this point, as a new release for them. But, don't wait, because it's an awesome movie, and it's really been underrepresented. And this release has just so much love put into it. It has so much love, Joe Lynch is on here talking about, how he loved the movie. But, at any rate, so yeah, there were so many crazy things we picked up this month, and with more coming out, let's see, what do we have to look forward to? We have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, for sure, and I think It Chapter 2, I don't know when that drops, but, plus with Black Friday, November should be a pretty exciting month too. So, well, that said, hope you enjoyed seeing our breakdown here. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you around. So, hopefully our next video will be that in-depth review of the Blob, which I've been working on making a script for, just because there's so much I want to keep it all straight. Anyway, thanks for watching.